Okay, what's up, everybody? Ricky Caruth, welcome back to another episode of Real Coaching in Real Time. We're live here on YouTube. We're live on Instagram. I'm recording this with 15 cameras from all different angles. If you're interested, and I just got through with a nice little kite surfing session, which lasted a good old probably 20 minutes. Really, it was too windy. My guy Sam behind me here, he actually didn't have a small enough kite for the wind. So, and he had a camera, and we were like, let's just get some footage. So I got probably the biggest jump I ever got. Probably the biggest jump I ever got. It's on film. So that's going to be exciting. I want to see that footage in just a second. So let me make sure everybody out in the world is absolutely alerted of this before I bring our three agents on. And I want to give you guys a big announcement really quickly. And that is that I am right now, as we speak, finalizing a date for late June for a huge event in Miami. Huge event, Miami, in person, late June. So as soon as we get everything sewed up, I'll release it. Dates, registration. It's going to be completely free, as always. And it's going to be literally, maybe not the first, because I might do an event before that, but it's going to be one of the first events of the, I'm just going to go ahead and say it here, guys, the Zero to Diamond Tour. Let's get it. Let's get it. Frisca, right? One day they're going to sponsor me. All right, let's see. Let's bring our agents out today and see who we have. First, we're going to bring out Eric.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Eric. I'm local real estate agent in Ocean and Monmouth County of New Jersey. I've been selling real estate I've had my license for 2 years. I've been actively selling now for about 6 months. I work for Keller Williams. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Eric Fadovic. And I would tell
Got
an
it,
April
man.
Fool's joke, but I'm not really good on the spot.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. I got my assistant really good while ago. I called her and I was like, how'd it go out? And I kept it going for a while. I was like, God, what in the world is going on here? What's wrong with my phone? I texted you and all kinds of stuff. And then I finally told her. So where did you say, what market are you in?
Ocean and Monmouth County in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Nice, man. Well, good to have you on. Looking forward to chatting with you in just a sec.
Oh, yeah.
Angelica.
Hey Ricky, how are you?
Good. Welcome back. Welcome back. If you guys don't remember,
Yeah,
Angelica did live calls with me a while back. So she is
I
back
did.
on real
I
coaching in
did.
real time. How's it been going since our live call session?
Pretty good. I'm actually busier than I've ever been, so I'm grateful for that. And yeah, I'm in the Charleston, South Carolina market, and in my second year full time in real estate. And I'm with a local brokerage here downtown, and yeah, just
I'm coming to Charleston.
we'd love to have you.
No, I'm literally coming to Charleston. I have a guy there, and we're putting together an event like for late May or early June. So
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. I'll definitely be there.
cool. Looking forward to chatting with you in just a sec.
Yeah, thanks.
And let's bring out my guy Eddie.
Hi guys, good afternoon, everybody. I'm from LA. I work kind of LA, Orange County, pretty much all that area. I've already been in the business for about a year going over a year and a half. And don't really have any jokes, but I'm looking to contribute some information that might help someone else, because I think I have some stuff that unfortunately we can't do it here, but will help other people around.
Gotcha, man. How long you been selling?
About a year and a half. I've had my license for many years. I just was working in retail many years. Burberry, Louis Vuitton, all the high-end stuff, and it did teach me a ton. But now I'm full-time in this now at this point.
Cool, man. Well, looking forward to chatting with you in just a sec.
Perfect.
All right, guys. If you would, please smash the ever-living daylights out of that like button right this second for our three agents who are coming on to literally pick my brain and hopefully help you guys with questions they ask. Maybe it's something that you were wondering and it will help you in some kind of form or fashion. So that's with Eric, Angelica, and Eddie. Throw that thumbs up for them. Let them know you're out there and alive. All right. Let's bring Eric back on.
Awesome. Yeah. So, you started in real estate when you were 20 years old. And I've got kind of the same thing. I started when I was 19. I was curious to know, what were you doing for kind of like a brand awareness and getting yourself out there and not being so scared of everybody? Because, coming into the industry as a young person, I'm sure you had some sort of fear, just like I did and everybody else, of, being scared to be that young real estate agent,
Yeah. Yeah.
So curious to know, what did you do?
Well, man, back then there was no social media. There was no, Facebook. There wasn't, anything. There was no there was not even like apps on a phone. There wasn't even apps on a phone.
Yeah.
There was no Red X. There was no auto dialers. We barely had MLS. Like they told me when I got in, it wasn't but like a couple years before that, they had magazines that had all the listings that came out once a month. And that was literally how they saw what properties. That was what all the real estate agents used to see what was for sale, was these advertisement magazines. And shoot, that information is 30 days old. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it was, we were, I literally started in almost like, there's definitely people that started in like the 70s and 80s and even 90s that probably would tell me, oh, you think you started in the dark ages? They were like doing typewriters and, like smoke signals and stuff like that. But for me back then, really all we had, the one thing we really had was direct mail and email marketing and phone calls. That was really all there was. You could do open houses and door knocking and, you could, do those kind of things. But outside of that and your sphere and like going to networking events and stuff like that, that was pretty much it. So I kind of became immersed in the direct mail.
Yeah.
The direct mail and mind you, like I didn't, until I lost everything and then came back and realized it was about building a brand and like creating relationships. I didn't do the weekly email until the end of 2007 is when I started the weekly email. So I wasn't even doing the weekly email when I started. So for all the new agents out there that have found me online and that are building their databases and adding people to their database and doing weekly emails and adding people to that database, even though they're not buying or selling today, those agents are light years ahead of where I was when I started, like light years. Like they don't understand the ramifications of, even if you just pick up like 250 people in your database in your first year, and then that turns into 1,000 your second year. And then you're looking at 5 years, you're looking at like 8,000 people or something like that. It's like, they don't understand like how far ahead they are of where I was in my first, second, third, fourth, fifth year. Like it took me 2002 to that's 5 years of like making it, losing it, coming back to realize I had to build a personal brand and actually create relationships with clients. So the fact that you already know all that puts you way ahead of where I was when I was 20. As far as like being scared because you are 20, you just have to pretend like you're 30, right? Because I promise you this, when you're 30, you're going to feel like you're 20. You're going to feel like you're 20. So why can't you feel like you're 30 when you're 20? Right? So why don't you
that's
just
a good perspective.
Why don't you just go ahead and pretend like you're 30, because you're going to feel the same when you're 30.
Wow. So you just mentioned that it took you, you said you were going up, going down. Yeah, wow. You're going up, you're going down, you're going up, through 1, 2 years, 3, 4, 5. When was it really that it hit you, like hit you in the head that you were like, oh my goodness, like I need to be consistent with what I'm doing and pick up on that? Because I had that issue when I first started, and then I've been getting my ball rolling and it's been getting better. But was there like a moment in time where it really just clicked in your head where you're like, shoot, I got to be more consistent?
More consistent with what?
Just getting deals done, prospecting consistently, realizing that, I don't know if there came a time where you were in the business where you've got a deal and you're like, oh, I'm sitting on a few things. I don't have to actively prospect anymore and stuff like that.
I was never like that, bro. And anybody that is like that, I will never understand you. Right. I've seen so many agents come in and do 3 deals and then you won't see them for 4 months. They'll spend all their money, come back and do it all over again. And that's fine. They're living the life. Like they take that 3 deals worth of money, 50 grand, they go pay their bills for a couple months and like party, real hard and have a good time,
Right.
and then they come back and, they need more money. So they go do 3 more deals and then you don't see them for 3 more months. There's plenty of agents out there like that, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like even when I was in my party phase, I was still working all day and then partying all night. I was still pushing. Even when I got to the point in 2014, when I actually quit drinking altogether, I made 600 grand that year. And the year before I probably made 450, like going out and partying every night, so my business was still on point. I mean, at that point I couldn't go to $1 million without getting sober and actually, getting my stuff together, so I had to, at that point, I would have plateaued out at like 500 a year if I wouldn't have quit partying. Right.
Okay.
But to take it to the next level, that's what I had to do. So,
Okay.
So no, I mean, I was never not consistent with my prospecting and whatever I was doing. I mean, that's just the name of the game. Like I was born to be consistent and dependable and honest and, do what I'm supposed to do and work hard. I mean, that's just, it can be taught, but that was something I was born with. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That wasn't the problem for me. The problem for me is when I got in the business, the market was so crazy that I didn't have to create relationships. I could just say, hey, you want to make 100,000? And they're like, yeah, I'll sell and take 100,000. So
Yeah.
they would do that. And then they would just take the money and I'd never hear from them. They never hear from me. And I'd ask the next person, you want to make 100,000? Yeah. Boom. There's a deal. You want to make 100,000? Yeah. Boom. There's a deal. And these people were just cashing out and just running. And, I didn't have to create relationships and I could turn right around and do another deal tomorrow. So it's like that type of market put me in a position where I didn't have to. It's real similar to today's market. I mean, there's some huge differences, but the difference is this. In 2003, when the market exploded, we started at a really low price and it escalated to the prices we are at now. This market just turned up 3 months ago and we're already at these prices. There's not much more room to go. So where are we going to go from here? It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be super interesting, right? Super interesting to see where the market goes this year. How far can it go? You know what I mean? That's going to be real interesting. But the good thing for me and you, bro, and if you really follow me closely, you'll know that it doesn't matter what the market does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of moment. I mean, you and I both. I'm pretty sure every agent thinks of momentum as a very, important cause. When did you start realizing that you had that long-term momentum in you?
When I lost everything, like the reason I lost everything was because of short-term mentality. Right. Everything was just get the deal now, do the deal now, flip the property now. I wasn't really thinking like I acquired so much debt because I was flipping properties and then I would borrow more money to flip more properties. I would roll that money into borrowing more money to flip more properties. And you can only go so far. And then when the whole house of cards falls, and doing it like that, you aren't really thinking about the future. You're just thinking about now. And so when I lost everything, I realized 2 things. One, I have to create relationships and actually build a database and a brand and a business, right? That's the only way to withstand a market crash is to have like brand awareness in your market. But then 2, it's like on the back end of that, you're thinking long-term on these relationships because as you're out there collecting data and creating relationships and letting people know who you are, what you do, and you're here to help, those people may or may not want to buy or sell today. Some of them will, some of them won't. So you help the ones that do, you collect all their data, right? Regardless. And that's long-term thinking, is to actually spend time with people who aren't ready to buy or sell today, to create that bond for later. Because the thing is that person is going to buy or sell 8 properties over the next 20 years.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to do like 8 deals over the next 20 years and refer like 11 people to somebody, and like, so those 20 deals is what I see when I'm talking to somebody who isn't ready to buy or sell today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where building the relationship combined with thinking about the long term, but then also capitalizing short term, because you run into people that need to buy or sell today and they love how you operate and want to do business with you because you didn't try to high pressure them. You actually listen to why they're trying to do something,
Mm.
And then they're like, wow, this person really cares. That's my
Yeah.
real estate agent. Let's do a deal today because I'm ready to do something right now. So you win today and you win even bigger tomorrow at the same time. Same swoop of a pen, same action, right? The same, you're in the same motion, but you're capitalizing short and long term at the same time. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is when you put it that way. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Boom. Everything you do should have dual purpose, which means every action you take should have more than one possible outcome. For example, when people are calling let's say you have a listing in a subdivision, like, I want to call all the property owners in that subdivision, right?
Yeah.
And so you're calling all the property owners in that subdivision to let them know about that listing. Most agents are so focused on the objective of that call session to be to try to sell that listing or to try to get the word out about that listing. When I'm thinking, yeah, I can get the word out about the listing, but I can also create more relationships that might want to do other deals in the future. And so people get through at the call session and they're like, man, I didn't sell that listing today. And I'm like, but you created 5 new relationships of people that are going to do 20 deals with you over the next 20 years. You know what I mean? So there's always a backup plan. It's kind of like a buyer, right? So we all have buyers that are missing out on properties, right? There's 15 buyers for every listing, and you have buyers that wrote offers and, you lost some bids. And so you're like, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call that subdivision they want to live in. And so you call the subdivision, and like, at the end of the call session, a lot of people are like, man, gosh darn it, I didn't find my buyer or anything. And I'm like, but you found 5 people that will do 20. You just did 100 deals over the next 20 years out of the relationships you initiated during that call session. So it's like, yeah, I'm trying to find my buyer a house, but also let's create relationships in the process where it puts you in a position, bro, where you can't lose. It's a win-win situation for you every single time. Why? Because you have dual purpose. There's dual purpose in every little action you take. And then it's just like, you don't care if this outcome you're chasing actually works out or not. You got all these backup reasons why you're doing this. See what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's how I operate. It's like right now, okay? Like I talk to agents and help them without asking anything at all in return at whatsoever. It doesn't matter to me, because here, listen to this. Maybe they join the coaching program and maybe they do this and do that, right? But maybe they don't do anything. Maybe they join the team. Maybe they do this. Maybe something happens in there. But if they don't, that's okay. You know why? Because they know that I genuinely cared about them to help them. And they're like, wow, Ricky really stepped up to help me. Didn't ask for anything. I'm going to tell everybody about him. And we're going to take a caravan. We're going to get a Greyhound bus full of agents, like 4 of them, to go to his next event. You know what I mean? That's how the world works, man. Dual purpose.
Wow, that's powerful. I've never heard it like that. I've never heard anybody say something like that, truthfully. Wow.
Well, there it is, bro.
I don't know how long we've been on, but one last question if you got. Your prospecting hours from when you first started, years, I don't know, maybe 1 to 3 until now, what's changed? Has anything changed?
At this point, with social media and everything, I'm looking at everybody make calls between 9 and 12 and do their marketing after lunch for the rest of the day, right?
Right.
That's me. Now, back in the day when there was no social media, right? There was no social media. I'm sitting here dialing with my hand making calls 8 hours a day. I'm dialing with my hand 8 hours a day, not even making half the calls you guys making in 2 hours using a dialer. You know, and you got
Right.
the whole day ahead. You've done twice as much work as I used to do in a whole day, and you got the whole day ahead of yourself to go do other crazy technological things, right?
That is true.
And everybody's sitting around saying, "How do I succeed? What do I do?" I mean, open
right in
up your
front of you.
eyes and get to work. There's plenty of stuff to do.
Yep. No, you got that right.
Mhm.
Completely agree. So
Good
what, I
chat.
mean,
What's that?
was the answer rate anything different from when you used to prospect and now, or
As far as times that I prospected?
well, like percentage to like people who you've called, dials to contacts, really
No, no, no.
same ratio.
Pretty much. It's better now, I would say. I don't remember what it was back in the day, really. Right now, it's 10% pickup rates.
Right.
You dial 100, you pick up, then you talk to 10 people. Back in the day, I want to say it was like 5%, to be honest with you.
Really?
I want to say,
Wow.
it seems like I would call and it seems like I would talk to 5 to 10 people, you know. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's come a long way because now that you like Redex gives you cell phone numbers and the data is so much better, you know, these days.
Right.
So much more
Cool.
sophisticated.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for answering the questions. I mean, I'm glad you put some different perspective into my eyes for sure. And I hope so. I know somebody out there is definitely looking to hear that. So you not only helped me, but you helped probably a few other people as well. Thank you
Well,
again.
good chatting with you, bro. Angelica.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So,
What can I do to help you?
well, I just have maybe 3 questions. And it's kind of funny because I think that as I was thinking about what to ask you, a lot of it I kind of already know. You know, your content is so valuable. So I kind of struggled with thinking of, questions.
Yeah.
But I mean, my first question relates to a situation that I was in today. So I listed a home this morning and right in our average price point. So, super hot market. We had showings back to back. So we expected, multiple offer situation, which I have never been in. I've typically always been a buyer's agent, so it's new territory for me.
Okay.
So I guess my question is, I had a lot of agents call me as far as, letting me know we're going to put in an offer. How can we make this attractive? And I mean, it got to a point where I felt, I can only tell them so much, we'll just put it in writing and we'll look at it. So how do you service your seller, to the max without losing opportunity, I guess?
So you're saying, so the situation is you have a listing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have a listing. You're normally a buyer's agent. So this is your first listing?
No, it's my 3rd listing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with how crazy the market is, what you're saying is there's agents that are coming to you saying, what do we have to do to buy this? Like what price do we need to be at? Stuff like that.
Exactly.
Well, see, the thing is we have to abide by a little thing called the Code of Ethics through our local board of realtors, right? This is NAR. This is the Code of Ethics, right? And we are representing our seller. So it wouldn't do our seller any justice. We have a fiduciary responsibility to our sellers, not to disclose anything about their motivation, anything about any other offers that are in play that might jeopardize what another buyer may or may not offer for that property. Whereas if they know what one offer is, they may offer less than what they would have offered if they didn't know what that offer was, and so on and so forth. So I mean, you have to protect that information to best serve your seller, right? So that's like first and foremost. When these agents are trying to hit you up and do all this crazy stuff, listen, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. You know, say, listen, we're looking at offers. Send us your best offer, right? Send us your offer. Don't talk to me about an offer. I don't want to hear nothing about an offer. I don't want you to tell me about an offer. I don't even want you to email me what an offer might be. I want you to email me a contract and let me present it to my seller. Okay. And then we'll counter back in writing, or we'll give you a, we'll decline the offer, or we'll counter back. We'll do the same thing, right? We will put something on, because until it's on a piece of paper and everybody has signed that document, there's no reason to even talk about it. Okay. Period.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I felt it was kind of off, because I mean, I always answer my phone. You know, I
Yeah.
never ignore calls. I'm always, you know, on the phone. So, you know, I actually had an agent call me about his proposed offer, and he said, you know, thank you so much for answering your phone. You know, no other agents answer their phone. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, am I doing something wrong? Maybe I shouldn't be answering my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, but that makes sense. So.
But then what did he say? What did he say? What's the rest of the story?
So he went on to say he's presenting an offer, and he started to tell me about the buyers. And at that point, I felt,
don't care nothing about the buyers. I'm sorry. Listen, can I stop you right there, Mr. Agent? I hate to tell you this, but you know, all this is irrelevant. We're you know, I love you and I love your buyers. Can you send it to me so that we can see? I gotta see what we're talking about here. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't let them suck you in.
Yeah.
I hate it when agents do that, man. They call me and they're like, "Oh, what do you think your seller will do?" Listen, here's the fact of the matter, guys. I'll drop a few nuggets on you right here. You never know. As much as you think you know what your client is going to do, you have no earthly clue what they're going to do. Like, for example, recent example, an agent in my office, he had a pocket listing of a condo, and the seller said he's not listing it. He will sell it. He will not, I repeat, not take less than 475. Not take less than 475. Period. End of story. Very firm, very stern, right? So he called a few people, and one of them made an offer for 435, much lower. And he emails the seller and says, "Listen, man, you know, I know you said 475 and stuff. Just want to let you know. I know you're not interested, but here's 435. You know, just want to let you know." He said, "Send it to me. Let me take a look." Sent it to him. What happened? He signed it. He signed 435. You know, people say all the time when they get the listing, "I'm firm on this." You put an offer in somebody's hands, the whole game changes, right? They start jumping through hoops and doing things you never thought they would do. You go under contract with the seller, and the seller says, "Okay, I'll take that price, but I'm not doing a single," and I repeat, do not even bring me any repairs. I will not touch this property for this price. Next thing you know, you're bringing them repair lists that the buyers want, and you're thinking, "Oh God, I'm so scared to show this to the seller. They're going to bite my head off." And you show it to the seller. Next thing you know, the seller's, you know, fixing the electric and fixing the paint, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
All the time. Never
Yeah.
take anybody's word for what they're doing, for what they say they're going to do, right? Take every situation like it's a new situation, because here's the thing, people change their minds every second of the day, you know? So never think you know what somebody's going to do. As much as you want to think that you have a crystal ball and you're a genius, like you're some kind of like wizard or something, you're not.
Psychic.
Right? As soon as people see cash, their eyes start crossing and they start speaking in tongues, and they do completely different things, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you
Yep.
for that. And I mean, I really just have one more question. How do you manage working from home and staying focused.
I think the biggest thing for me working from home is I have my own office here. Like I literally have my own room that is an office.
Yeah.
That has nice doors that are glass. I can see the rest of the house, but I'm still closed off if I want to be. You know, I think that's what works for me. When I was in my old house, it was one of those kitchen, living room, dining room, like all in one room kind of houses,
Yeah.
and there really wasn't a room I could really have an office per se, So I really believe that your house has a lot to do with it, because like I just couldn't do it at my other houses, even in like it was a 3-bedroom and I used an extra room to have my office there. It was okay,
Yeah.
but here I have my own it was made to be an office. And I think that has a lot to do with it. So I'm just in a good place too, to be honest with you. I'm in a really good place. I have a lot of momentum, up to the point of the shutdown last year. I never worked at my house. Had to go to the office, wanted to go to the office, was going to work in the office. When the shutdown happened, I was forced to work out of the house, and now I love it. Like I'm never going back ever, 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 So it's funny how things change,
Yeah. I've always been a very strict, get up, go to the office, focus. So now that I mainly work from home, unless I have appointments or showings, I'm here. So I just, I struggle with, sometimes I get distracted, and, it's something that I'm dealing with and trying to learn to.
What do you get distracted with?
I have a dog and we have a puppy, and, I try to, when I do my calls, I literally have to put her in her crate, to do that. And just distractions. I'm very comfortable at home. So when I actually go to the office, I'm more like, okay, I knock out my checklist. When I'm home, it's like, I'll throw in a load of laundry and get it done while I'm here. It's not great, but it's something that I'm learning to change. So.
Yeah. We all go through phases. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Well, good chatting with you today. Good to see you again.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And where can everybody find you?
I'm on Instagram. It's at Angelica in Charleston. So it's ANGELICAINCHS.
Oh, cool. Great. You guys go follow Angelica, and also Eric.
Sorry about that. I couldn't get my mute button.
It's all good, man. Yeah. Tell everybody again where they can follow you before I bring Eddie on.
Yeah. So Instagram is good, and that's Eric Fatovic. That's ERIKFATOVIC.
Cool. Yeah, you guys go follow my people, guys. Follow my people. Let's bring Eddie back out.
Here we go. Eric, do you want me to just kind of go a little bit in my background just to tie it into what I'm kind of questioning you on?
Yeah, sure. As long as it's not a novel.
No, I'll keep it pretty short. So, like kind of what I mentioned before, I was working the retail. I used to get so frustrated because I wanted to come into real estate, right? It was my passion, but I had to pay bills. So I was in real estate in 2008, like you said. I could make anybody qualify. That's just the way it was back then. And I was a lender and an agent both. So I didn't learn about prospecting. It was just very cold, very, that kind of deal. And shit hit the fan. And sorry, I don't know if we could cuss, but
that's all good.
And and got out of the business because I couldn't even, started working retail. Luckily, what I have learned in retail is how to carry conversations with people. Working at Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, Louis Vuitton, and Burberry, what I ended. But I'm like you in a sense of I go after it. So I always believe, and then I read Grant Cardone's book, 10xing everything. Who cares? We're just putting in the hours, and I would succeed. Ultimately, if I wasn't top sales, I would eventually be top sales. And I believed in hard work, and that kind of. So I've transitioned into this real estate game now, and I started doing open houses. They were working great for me at that time. Unfortunately, I'm in California. We can't do open houses, so just to give maybe other listeners that can do open houses, I do feel it works. I do feel you could do both. I should have been doing both, cold calling, because there's a lot of dead time sometimes too in open houses. And I got my start. I started, I got a couple listings, I got a couple buyers, but my hardest transition has been when the lockdown happened, because literally I did an open house literally to the last day of the lockdown, and now I'm cold calling. I honestly did think that the COVID was going to go away. I just, said, oh, I'm going to do cold calling 2 months, and then we're going to go back to doing open houses because that was working for me. So now what I'm trying to do is kind of, following your technique, of course, and I'm doing contacts. I was having trouble getting up to, I was cold calling for 8 hours a day, but the issue was that I wasn't getting that many contacts. I was like, I don't know if my phone was getting, obviously because I'm doing so many calls, spam. So I got 2 dialers now. I'm basically kind of transitioning back and forth, but I got my contacts up. I guess what I'm trying to see is what I can do better, obviously with your experience. I am having hesitation in terms of getting people's email. I don't know. I guess I feel like I've started getting it now, but I haven't done the whole newsletter because I feel like I'm over analytical and I'm going to spend so much time trying to figure that out that I'm just going to kill my time in the sense of cold calling. And just, any information, unfortunately, I feel like my frustration is that I want to see results now and I know it's going to take time. The same thing with the open houses. I didn't see anything for 4 months and then bam, I hit 4 deals. So it's just, for me, it's just been kind of frustrating knowing that I had figured it out and now it's like, hey, forget everything, start all over again. So now I'm doing the cold calling. So, any tips, anything you could give me? I am doing the contacts. I'm just trying to get better at it. And I have had situations where I've met up with owners, but for whatever reason, or, they just hadn't gone with me or said, oh, I'm going to go with the original agent I was with. Kind of deal. So it got me a little frustrated and just hitting those walls. And, when you're cold calling, what do you tell people to let them know that you are a listing agent? I think they assume sometimes that we're just buyer's agents. I don't know why, but that's what I've gotten sometimes. I know it's a lot.
Man, bro, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Man, you got a set of lungs on you, man. All right. So, are you calling every day between 9 and 12?
I'm calling basically from like 9 to 7.
9 to 7.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to get to my contacts of 70 to, I'm going to start now because I am getting more tired, of course, because I'm doing 2 dialers. So I am going to tone it down probably to like 9 to 6.
Okay. So 9 in the morning until 6 at night.
Yeah. I do take breaks, obviously, in between, but that's usually what I've been doing.
When do you do appointments? When do you do your weekly email? When do you do, listing appointments and show property? And
right now I'm not doing any email. I am working with a couple of buyers. So when I do stuff like that does happen, obviously I do adjust. Like last week I showed some property on Sunday because I do have a current listing right now. And I have another one coming up. So I do stop when stuff does happen or things that I have to do for, say, for example, the one in Long Beach, I had to go with one of my workers to go buy grass and that kind of stuff. I do get involved because unfortunately in this situation, the lady lives in San Diego.
So, okay. So this is very interesting to me. So take me through your 9 to 7 call session with 2 dialers. Okay. How many calls are you making? How many people are you talking to?
I'm talking on contacts and ends up being roughly between, before I got the both dialers, I was hitting about 40, 30 a day contacts. Now that I got 2 dialers, I'm hitting about 70 contacts a day. And I have noticed that I've gotten more warm leads, possibilities, or not now in 6 months, or, call me back in a year, or just, warm stuff.
So the
So, yeah.
70 contacts you're making, that's out of what, about 70 or 700, 800 dials?
I think it's close to 1,000 or 1,200 or what I remember.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this? Like how many weeks?
The 2 dialers I barely started about, I want to say about 2.5 weeks ago, not too long.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
before just a single dialer, I was just doing it for like about 3 months, going on 4 months.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So let's do a role play, right? So you doing circle prospecting?
I'm just circle prospecting. Just trying to see if they're willing to sell, or
Okay.
if I could keep in touch with them for future business.
All right. So I'm the homeowner. You're circle prospecting. Let's hear what you got to say to them. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Ring, 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 ring. Hello.
Hello. My name's Eddie Castillo. I'm just giving you a quick call. I'm just trying to see if you had
Click.
any thoughts.
Is that what you really do, or you just do it like that because you're nervous?
No, honestly, that's what I do, and I have.
Okay. Well, let's start over. Okay. I want to hear the whole pitch.
Okay.
Okay. Ring, 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 ring. Hello.
Hi, this is Eddie Castillo. Just giving you a quick call, just trying to see if you were interested in selling your property. And if they tell me no, then at that point I will go, look, just wanted to give you a quick update into, because, you click on the Zillow, you see how much your house is worth. I just let them know. And at that point, if they tell me, oh, okay, it's, I'm still not thinking of selling, I'll then ask them. Now I've been getting more used to the calling and asking them, is it okay if I keep in touch with you, or maybe send you a business card? Because, if I had a good conversation, I go from there.
Eddie, let me ask you something, man. Have you ever seen my scripts?
Yeah, I have.
Is there a reason why you decided absolutely to just do something completely different?
Because I do feel when I start kind of talking to them about the weather or anything like that, I feel like they just, I don't know, they click on me, or they're just like, they want to get to the point.
Okay, Eddie, let me say a few things. Number one, so for one thing, who cares what you think, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about them, and you're talking about what you feel like. You're like, I feel like, this. I feel like that. I feel like the weather doesn't fit right. I feel like I don't want to follow your scripts, Ricky, because I don't think it's going to really connect with them. I feel like this. I feel like that. What about what they feel like? Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take our feelings out of the equation and let's insert their feelings.
Okay.
Now we're moving in the right direction. Little baby steps. The second thing is, when they answer, we don't even know if this is who we're supposed to be talking to, because you literally sound like one of those robot calls. You're like, hey, this is Eddie Castillo over here at whatever, and I'm just calling to see if you want to sell your house. I mean, how cold and unattractive is that? Like, what would you say if somebody called you like that? You know what I mean? You'd be like, man, this dude is just, no, not interested. See you later. So I see now where the breakdown is, okay, with why you would make 70 contacts a day and not have real great results. My next question is this, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been using that script?
Well, to kind of tie in, probably because I'm nervous in front of everybody, of course, I do ask if it's the owner, because I do want to know.
That was the first thing I said. That's the first thing I said.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Because is this what you really do? Or did you just say that because you're nervous? I asked you that after the first role play, and you said, no, that's what I do.
No, I
so
do.
Now you're saying it's not what you do.
I do ask for their name, and then at that point,
then let's start over.
Okay.
I want to hear the real script.
Oh, okay.
The real script. Ring, 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 ring. Hello?
Hello, is this John Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, John. I'm just giving you a quick call. I'm just trying to see if you were interested in selling your property. And at
So
that
you
point,
don't even tell them who you are on the real script?
I'll say Eddie Castillo, but I won't say like Realty One or my company or any of that.
I got you. Listen, Eddie, listen. Will you please do me a favor, man?
Yeah.
Will you please just take my scripts and just see? You have used this script since for 3 months, right?
Yeah, or a little bit above. Yeah.
With really par to no results, right?
I mean, I have some warm leads. I mean, I haven't listed anything right now at this point.
You don't
But I
really
think
get you don't really get email addresses, right? You're not really connecting with anyone, right?
I'm connecting with some, like the ones that I do connect with, I put them on a separate list. Like I either put them like say on a warm list, someone that had a good conversation, or somebody that if they told me, in 6 months or a year, I put two lists. So I do a
Got you.
warm and a hot.
Okay.
And then I just continue to call them, and just follow up like,
Are you happy with the results?
no, that's
Okay.
fine.
Then we have to do something different.
Yeah.
Okay. If you called your mother to ask her if she wanted to sell her house, how would that conversation go? Let's do it. You're calling your mom, okay? Ring,
Yeah.
ring, 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 ring. Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Sonny.
Just trying to call and see how you're doing and how it's been for you.
Well, yeah. I'm doing
good.
Yeah, I'm breathing.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I see your point. I mean, don't get to the point of selling. Get to talk to
Eddie, who are you talking to?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Listen, Eddie. Okay, I think I know whose scripts you're using, and you got to look at that, guys. Listen, results. The proof is in the pudding. Okay,
Mhm.
all right. Look at people's volumes and what they've done. Look at their volumes and what they've actually done and accomplished. Okay, when you're picking out people and you're saying, "Oh, let me listen to this guru and that guru," look at what that guru has actually done in their life, if anything. Right?
Yeah.
Look at their results and then say, okay, that's not the results I'm looking for. I'm going to go find another guru who has real results, right?
Yeah.
Right. I know exactly whose script you're using, and that guy, it's the worst, right? Hey, this is Ricky. You want to sell your house?
Yeah.
Literally, it's like, you want to sell your house? Okay, cool. Bye. Click. That's his script. Hey, it's Ricky Caruth at eXp Realty. You want to sell your house? No, cool. Click. What? That dude, that person that you just talked to that doesn't want to sell their house is going to sell their house in 6 months to a year. And then the house, when they sell, they're going to buy a bigger house and they're going to refer 3 people to you because they love you. And then they're going to buy and sell another house 8 years down the road. But here we are saying, you want to sell your house? No, click. Short-term thinking. You're not working for dual purpose. What I'm saying is let's have dual purpose. You're calling to just try to do a deal today, Eddie. True or false?
True.
You're trying to mix the relationship thing in there, but you're who you are on the inside, Eddie, right? Who you are on the inside, you're not communicating that to your clients. Because I fear to say that you, Eddie, care about people, and that you, Eddie, are a hard worker, and you're dependable, and you're professional, and you're honest, right? And that you're knowledgeable. I would fear to say all those things about you, and that I would think that if I were in your market and I wanted to buy a house, I would love to work with Eddie, because I can tell by looking at you that you're an honest person that wants the best for people, right?
Mhm.
Is that how you are? Or am I wrong?
No, that's where it's worked out for me when I talk to people like you said, like if they were my mom or like straight out like one of my
What
neighbors.
I'm saying, Eddie, what I'm saying is that what I'm describing who you are, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but how you are talking to your prospects doesn't line up with who you are as a person,
True. Mhm.
right? Well, the way that you're coming across to your prospect is that, hi, I'm Eddie. You don't know me and I don't know you, but will you sell your house so I can make some money? when really that's not you.
Mhm.
You're being somebody that you're not. You're being a fake when you're calling these people, asking them if they want to buy, if they want to sell their house. Let's be Eddie. Let's
Yeah.
be the Eddie that just talked to his mom. Let's be the Eddie that everybody knows and loves. That's what people want. If you're talking to 70 people, bro, you are doing, I lost him. He's gone. Eddie he literally is obliterated from the universe, it looks like. Man, I think I was really getting through to him for a second.
Hey, Ricky, can I ask you a quick question? Because he
Yeah.
brought up a point. In my script of circle prospecting, I give a point of value, really. It's not, I don't use the scripts that you use, but I kind of use it in a sense of, hey, what's going on? My name is Eric Fadovic, local real estate agent here, and blah, blah, blah. And I just wanted to inform you about the real estate market in whatever town I'm calling, and to let you know that there's been over 100 homes sold in the past month, and more than half of them sold over asking price.
Hmm.
Like, Dad, do you know that? So I'm curious to know, like, what you think of, giving that sort of value.
I've tried it all different ways.
Yeah.
I've tried it all different ways. And I never had any good luck with those general facts about the market. I never had any luck when I'm spitting generality facts about the market overall. Even if it's niche to the local market, it's still general to the local market. I've only had good results when I talk about their subdivision. And I say a house in your subdivision sold, or I just sold a house in your subdivision, or I just put one under contract, or I have a buyer for your house, or I like when it's specific to their subdivision is when I've had the most luck. When I start speaking generalities and we're selling all these properties and there's 100 properties sold, and whenever I start saying all that, I feel like I lose them because I feel like they think that I'm just throwing these big numbers at them to try to get them to do something when I'm not really bringing them any value. Look, everybody knows the market's on fire. Okay.
Right.
If you don't, then if I tell you, you're still not going to know if you don't know by now. Like there's nothing I can do for you type thing. But if a house just sold in their neighborhood, they probably don't know that. There's a good chance they don't know that. There's a good chance that they don't know that a house just sold in their neighborhood for like 50,000 over ask price. You know what I mean? They know the market's on fire, but they don't know that you just put a property under contract. You know what I mean? So I've always had better luck when I go for more real specific niche information than the more general stuff. But look, the good thing is you've got an unlimited amount of people to call. So try it that way. That's a good thing about this. You can try it that way. You can try it my way. You can try it a different way. You can test, test till your little heart can't test anymore and figure out what's the best for you. What rolls off your tongue? What do you think gets the best results? What gets the best results for me doesn't necessarily going to get the best results for you. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Appreciate that.
I hate we lost old Eddie boy there, man. Man, I'm gonna have to get on a call with him or something because, man, that was rough. I gotta tell you, man. I've seen a lot of people come and go. And guys, if you would smash the like button, let's get it up to 100. It's at 70 right now. That's a little on the low side for how good this show has been so far. But I've seen a lot of people come and go, and it seems to be, here we go. Let's bring it back.
Hey, Ricky, can you hear me?
Eddie.
There we go. Sorry, my phone kicked rocks.
That's all good, man. Do you got a camera on there?
Yeah, hold on. Is that good?
Okay, there you go, bro. There you go. Okay,
Sorry.
so what I was right in the middle of telling you that like who you are as a person is not lining up with how you're communicating with your prospects.
Yeah.
And as soon as you line those two things up and you give people the real Eddie when you call people, then you're going to start winning.
That's true. I gotta, like you said, use your scripts and don't come up like a salesperson.
Use my scripts, relax, and talk to them like they're your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And don't go for the kill. Don't go for the sell today, right? Really try to get to know people and see what it is they're trying to do so that you can really figure out how to help them, short and long term.
That's true, because when, obviously when I was doing the open houses, I know I was able to show that, talking to people face to face. So I have to show them, obviously, by asking questions and getting to know them, where before doing the open houses give me the opportunity to connect with them on that level. So it's just, trying to ask more questions, kind of, come in that. So I see your point, and that's probably the reason why I haven't been able to see a lot of results, even though I'm putting all the context in there. Is just that I'm not putting enough in terms of connect with the client. Because I mean, obviously, if people meet me face to face, I mean, when I was working, retail, people connected with me because I got to know them. I got to know their families.
Exactly. So now you just got to bring that to this.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Just bring that to this. Just transition that skill over to this.
What do you do with the, like, sometimes I get where the older people, they tell me, oh, I'm going to leave here in a pine box. Like, but those type of people, do you still connect with them? What is the same thing, everything? Just connect with them.
Absolutely. That's cool.
Like anything else.
Listen, Mrs. Johnson, I do not blame you. If I was there, I would never leave myself. So trust me when I say I feel you. We're on the same page with that. You know what I mean? Relate to them. Tell them you understand. That's great that you want to stay there till you. That means that you found your happy place. You found your forever home. That's what you should want for people. As a real estate agent, that's what you should want for people. To find their happy place, their forever home. That's the whole goal. To find the perfect home for them. So if they found it, you should celebrate that with them.
Okay.
And then because they loved how you celebrated, in 8 months, they decided, you know what, we need something a little bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Patience. Okay. Patience.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, absolutely, Eddie. No, good chatting with you, man. I hope something jarred something, and I hope it takes your career in a different direction, and you can capitalize much better because you're making the calls. You're making the calls. We just need the. If you could pick up, if you're talking to 70 people, you should be picking up like 30 email addresses a day. You should be picking up like 25, 30 emails a day. Like what I want from my team is I want 5 a day. Like, of course, I'm only having them call 3 hours. If they can pick up 5 or 10 a day, great. 5 minimum. 5 minimum is 100 a month, 1,200 a year, 2,400 in 2 years, 36, 48. I mean, by the time you pick up 5 a day for 4 years, you got 5,000 people in your database that you talk to, getting a weekly email. You are the king of your market or queen.
Yeah. That's why I try to have my mindset. I think unfortunately, because, I didn't, I had a dry run for like 6 months after the pandemic. And I think it's just all kind of stressing me out. I mean, of course it's going to happen, but I just have to understand all this is a process. And I guess I'm trying to like speed up the process, but I have to take, like you said, take it slow and talk to them and just being able to make that connection. So I don't sound like any other agent out in my, and I do connect with some, I start talking, we start laughing. And I think once they, and that helps me get through the hard days. We all have hard days where it's like super negative and people are just telling you off. And I even had one lady, look, I'm not ready to sell, but keep going. Just keep going. You're doing, she goes, my sister, she's an agent. She should be doing this. And she's not even doing it. So it's just gotta keep that positive mindset and just understand it's a process, and it's gonna come, as long as I do what's right.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, you guys, thanks for coming on the show today. If you guys wanna wave bye to everyone, I just showed everybody your face. So enjoyed talking to you guys today. Thanks for coming on. You guys, as well as everybody watching, if you need me, you know where to catch me on Instagram. I'm still answering all those DMs, so definitely hit me up there. And we'll see you guys Tuesday. I'll be back doing live calls with an agent somewhere. It's gonna be it's gonna be another good one. That one a couple of a couple of days ago, Tuesday, was on fire. That girl was on fire. Already. She was on fire. You guys need to go watch that. She set like 3 appointments for sale by owners, straight killer. So cool. Yeah, we'll see you guys Tuesday. Hit me up if you need me. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.